These are not swordfish.
What are you talking about? Of course, these are swordfish.
These are garfish. You don't get swordfish in this part of the world, Risco.
No way, these are swordfish.
I'm telling you they are garfish.
You're watching part of a play called The Swordfish and the Concubine. It's written by Malaysian playwright Ki Tuan Chai and produced by theatre company Wild Rice.
Now, this performance is among 14 new plays by 6 different theatre companies which are taking part in the OCBC Singapore Theatre Festival. And this play is a retelling of 2 Malay myths, but it also includes some contemporary political overtones.
And to tell us more about what looks to be a theatrical epic complete with live orchestration, we have with us in studio this morning director Ivan Heng and cast members Elena Wang and Lim Yu Beng. Good morning to all three of you.
Guys.
Good morning. So we're going to see the world premiere of The Swordfish and the Concubine. Is that right?
Yes.
What is the story about?
The story basically is a Singaporean folktale about a boy, about a time actually in Singapore when we were attacked by swordfish. So the swordfish came and killed all the people.
Right.
And this little boy basically suggested to the Maharaja that we can actually save the country by building a wall of banana stems. And the idea works. The boy saves the country, but the ministers and the Maharaja are nervous that the boy is going to grow up to be too clever for his own good, to take over the Maharaja's position. And they decide to kill the boy. Yes.
So who came up with the story idea again?
Well, it's legend.
Yes.
It's legend, right?
Yes.
Oh, really? It's in Singapore?
It's the story of Red Hill. So how it became Bukit Merah is traditionally because the blood of the boy stains the ground red. And that's why it's Bukit Merah, the Red Hill.
Oh, never knew that.
Yes, it's one of our stories. In fact, we were taught it in school.
So your school, not my school, maybe.
Same school, man. We're from the same school.
I wasn't there in that class. I was sick that day. Okay.
You've added a modern twist to it, and it's a political satire as well. In what way? Maybe you can explain a bit more.
Well, it's really Ki Tuan Chai, who's one of Malaysia's foremost playwrights, taking on this story to write about the relationship between rulers and subjects, about war, about the absurdity of war, about what it means to have power and how absolute power can corrupt. So in many ways he's exploding this fairy tale or a fable to talk about who we are and what we are now and how we actually relate to authority, for example.
In fact, that's an issue that's not just now. I think it's past, present, and probably future. How do you guys fit in? Eleanor, tell us about the role that you play.
Well, I play Nurhalisa, who is the concubine of the Sultan. And she is incredibly open-minded, and she's very eclectic in her beliefs. So, in essence, she's very ahead of her time. And that ultimately is her downfall, and that also leads to her fate. And that links to the abuse of power and what they could do with that and what is considered dangerous in that particular era.
Right. Doesn't sound like the kind of concubines that I've heard about. They usually just hang out. They don't really think that.
You've been checking the wrong websites, buddy.
What about you, Ming? What's the role that you play this?
I play the Bendahara, which is essentially the Prime Minister. And he's the person who sees the story through from the swordfish tale into the concubine tale. That's why it's called the swordfish and then the concubine. You kena one, then you kena the other. And he's the guy that sees it through 2 administrations of power. And he sees both stories come about. So he tells the reigning sultan of what happened in the previous administration as a warning that, look, this happened. Let's try to avoid this in this administration.
I hear that your role is especially physically demanding, is that right?
Well, everybody is working very physically if you see those videos. Look at that. We're all jumping all over the place. I'm actually doing a little bit less to a certain degree, or it looks like less. But it's actually more. I'm using my body to try to be older in a lot of it, and that's actually been quite tiring. I've been wearing a back brace.
This whole genre about political satire seems to be a favorite theme that directors like to take on and put it up on stage. Why do you think so? Do you think there is a need for such understanding of, reality?
I think that because the theatre, traditionally, I think all theatre is political in a way, because theatre is about creating a platform for a public gathering. Right. And, the public gathers to negotiate difference, identify dilemmas, celebrate triumphs, mourn great losses. And because of that, it's a very, very useful and important platform. It allows us to reflect on the pressing and urgent issues of the day. It allows us to think. It challenges assumptions. It provokes thinking. So I think it's an important play. And I for one, always believe that we need to question authority, and think about our responsibility as citizens.
So it's a bit of a social commentary, I guess, in a sense. You're looking at issues of the time that do concern people. And also, I guess, it's issues that you're hoping people can relate to, which is why they'll come and watch the play also, right?
Yes, yes, it's very, very funny. Yeah. It's political satire. You can't help but laugh at it. It's very entertaining.
It's incredible because even Swordfish Then the Concubine, it's ultimately tragedy, but Thuan Chai has written it in such a comical way that you do laugh at it, but it's shocking at the same time. And I think that's why you go, God, that is so true. But man, I haven't thought about this in a long time. And wow, it's set in the 15th century, but I think it's still kind of going on today.
I mean, a particular moment that you really enjoyed about this whole performance.
This performance, I think it would be the moving parts of the play. Because the concubine goes through quite a journey, such as, the execution part of the play. It really drives the actor, such as myself, to delve into that situation and to enter her mind.
You're talking about the movement as it leads up to the execution, right? Because once you're dead, you're not supposed to move around.
Well, you'll never know.
Oh, okay. Although with Ivan,
with anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I guess one particular interesting feature about this is you're using live music.
I love it. The music is provided by Gamelan Asmaradana, and there are 9 musicians. So the music is very beautiful, very haunting, and it really transports you to another world. And I think that's a wonderful thing because, people in Singapore have had they work so hard, but it's nice to come to the theatre and really be transported into the land of myth and fairy tale and still kind of be able to kind of laugh and enjoy or understand what we are doing now. It's about the problems and possibilities of our time.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
I was just going to say, I mean, you're using art and you said this is a great platform to reach out to people and have them think about what they usually take for granted. Do you think art is an effective medium, though? Have you seen changes in society that it has done so over the years as we produce all these political satires or any plays that we've had before?
I have many stories. I mean, there was a very good friend of mine, not a good friend, but an acquaintance who quit his job as a senior marketing executive to open a bicycle shop after watching Animal Farm. There was a boy who came out, there were 2 boys who came out to their parents to say they were gay after watching Happy Endings. So I think that on one level that happens on a personal level with individuals, but on a bigger scale, I think that it's all about changing mindsets, and that takes time. But I think the theatre offers us a kind of possibility to see beyond our personal biases, to see beyond our personal fears or prejudices, to say, hey, this is another way of looking at the world. This is another way of looking at how we want to treat each other as individuals. All theatre is about the great art of living with one another.
I guess not only us too, but performers themselves. I mean, you get a different perspective as well as you're involved in it. I mean, that's a totally different perspective from what we would see as well. And you take away something.
Of course, because you're going through it personally as well. And as an actor, you do try to empathize with that character. So how much you're affected by it is how much you relay to the audience as well. So. And
there you go. I mean, how often do you get to play a concubine anyway in your life?
Oh, exactly.
For her, only on weekends, but oh no.
I don't know what you know, Yu-Bing, but.
Yes.
All right, guys, we have to wrap it up. But thanks so much for coming in. We'll just, we've had this morning Ivan Heng, director of the Swordfish and then the Concubine, and also 2 cast members, Eleanor Wang and Lim Yu Bing.
That's right, the play will be performed from the 6th to the 10th of August. So if you want to be tickled and provoked all at the same time, just head down to the Drama Centre Theatre at the National Library here in Singapore.
And also, if you'd like more information about the OCBC Singapore Theatre Festival, well, you can log on to the website down there. It's singaporetheatrefestival.com. And many other plays that will be happening. So make a visit to the website and see what sort of suits your fancy. You know when the